Hi everybody. Well, it's Sunday, a nice rainy Sunday, but because I won't be here on Monday and definitely not on Tuesday, I thought I'll jump on today and just have a chat. So many of you asked me to go watch Lady C, where she talks about a risk assessment being done and that the Prince and Princess of Wales do not want Harry and Meghan within walking distance of their home because of their volatile and unpredicted nature. Well, if you had listened to my previous video, that's basically what I said. I told you the king needed to step up and protect William and Catherine. I told you the last thing they needed was to have Harry and Meghan and the volatility and unpredictability in their own backyard, didn't I? But anyway, let's continue. I can fully understand that. And it is likely true that such an assessment had been done. And it is likely true that part of the risk is Harry and Meghan themselves. Mental illness, anger, jealousy, drug and alcohol abuse is not a wonderful combination. Not at all. But although I have no idea how the assessment was done, whether professionally or in-house, I can tell you that such an assessment would have been multifaceted. Been there, done that. I ran commercial buildings and risk assessments were done for almost every new tenant. My brother was a cop, and then after that, he started his own business specializing in VIP security and later added another division with home security. So he spent weeks and nights working on risk assessment for his clients. Anyway, I heard about this before Lady C made her video, and if you go back, like I said, to my, I think, second to last video, you will hear me say that no one can expect William and Catherine to put up with this shit in their own backyard. You also heard me say, like I said, that Charles needs to step up and protect his heir and his family. And I've actually been saying this for a while now. So I knew via the grapevine that there were maneuvers to keep Harry and Meghan away from William and Catherine, and to a lesser extent away from Charles and Camilla. I also know that at this point, William does not want Harry and Meghan anywhere near his children. So, yes, I'm sure that William and Catherine and their peace of mind played a large role in this whole decision about Frogmore Cottage. You can imagine someone as toxic and as devious and so prone to making up stories as Meghan Markle living 900 feet away from your front door, because that is apparently how far Adelaide Cottage is from Frogmore Cottage. Now, look, I haven't been there, but that's what I'm told. Anyway, we already saw them using interior photographs taken at Buckingham Palace. We saw them using photographs of William and Catherine in their Netflix series. We know Meghan Markle has no brakes. She will do what she wants without stopping to think how it will affect anyone else. And then there is Harry. Who wants their minor children hanging around a drug addict? A man who on Saturday told Dr. Gabor Mate that marijuana helps him more than cocaine. Really? A man with two children going on television and telling a therapist that marijuana helps you more than cocaine? So what he's actually doing is he's saying he's using both. So that guy should be allowed anywhere near young children? I don't think so. And in my opinion, not even his own children should be allowed near him. Anyway, but I've been told that this risk assessment did, however, also cover two other aspects, namely Harry's loose mouth and how things coming out of his mouth can cause damage to the monarchy and also possibly harm to other individuals. Yes, indeed, we're talking about things like his comments about the Taliban. I heard and saw that there are factions in the Taliban who are laughing it off and saying this man is insane, he's nuts. But there are others who have been calling for a fatwa over Harry and his family. In other words, a legal religious pronouncement. So, which faction will get their wish? The ones who are saying, leave the idiot alone, he's not worth it, or the ones who are saying that he should pay the price for being disrespectful to their dead? So, I don't know how serious this could get, but what I do know is that the royals have indeed stepped up their security. I noticed with Catherine out alone the other day that the one guard nearly stood on top of her all the time. So argue as much as you want, but things coming out of Meghan and Harry's mouths also increase the risk for the royal family. The other aspect that I know for a fact has been discussed is the following. I know for a fact that Catherine received the vilest and most threatening letters after the Oprah interview. When will one of those crazies decide today is the day I'm going to do something? So, in other words, we have three aspects of security to consider: the Hawkles themselves, those they anger because of their irresponsible talks and interviews and the things coming out of their mouth, and then those crazed fans whom they constantly inciting and some of whom they are actually even paying. Of course, a risk assessment considering all of this would come to the conclusion that the Harkle should not be left off their chains anywhere near the Prince and Princess of Wales and their children. I spoke to my journalist friend and asked whether he heard anything about a formal risk assessment that has been done. And he said no, he hasn't, but he would not be surprised if it was. But he knows that as far as the legalities are concerned, the Crown Estate also have reasons why they would prefer not to renew the lease. And somebody that my friend knows actually had a glimpse of the Crown Estate books. So, according to my friend, among some of the reasons are things like outstanding money, outstanding maintenance issues being ignored by the Harkles, and so forth and so forth. My friend says we have no need to worry, the royals are covered from each side. Someone said, oh, the Harkles will want to sue the king now. Well, no, they can't sue the king. British courts are not called His Royal Highness's court for nothing. You can't sue a king in his own court. They can try suing the Crown Estate, but that would not be worth the effort, as according to my friend, the Crown Estate have enough legal reasons to not renew the lease. All their T's are crossed and all their I's are dotted, and the Harkles will get absolutely nowhere. Anyway, let's talk about Harry's so-called live stream, which wasn't live. His talk with Dr. Gabor Mate. No, I did not pay to watch it, and thank God I didn't. because according to the body language guy and a few others, the sound was really bad and the images blurred and dark, and 90% of the back and forth was just word salad. Well, reading the transcript and rereading it, I'm about as confused as anyone can possibly be. Just as I think I know where the conversation is going, it changes from word salad 101 to word salad 102, and so on. Now, in no particular order, Dr. Mata at some point, yes, I think at the bottom of page 2, tells Harry that he has ADD or ADHD. And yes, I could have told Charles and Diana that when Harry was about 4. I think in one of my old videos, I did say that I think Harry has ADD or ADHD. And I personally know the symptoms so well because I was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 39. Now, this Dr. Mate tells Harry he can cure ADD. No, you cannot cure it. There are mainly two possible causes for ADD, ADHD. There is the genetic factor, and then there is the actual misfiring of neurotransmitters, those thingies which transmit signals from one nerve cell to the other. Okay? Now, because no one understands why these neurotransmitters misfire, why this is happening, there is no cure. Only ways to make it better and easier to deal with. And if you have a very good therapist, he will even show you how to apply your ADHD to or for your own personal benefit. Because believe me, if you know how to deal with it, you can be way more successful than people without. But you have to learn how to deal with it. Now, here are a few things which are very standard once you're diagnosed. A doctor or psychiatrist will advise you to take a high quality multivitamin and mineral supplement. I currently take 2 supplements. Now, don't ask me what's in the one. It helps with body and brain function, and it tastes like it is rather high in iron. Okay, the other one assists in opening the lungs and airways so you have enough oxygen in your blood. Eliminate stimulants. Okay, so no drugs and alcohol. Okay, exercise for at least 30 minutes per day. Yes, if I get itchy and irritable, that's what I do. I walk out the front door and I just walk until I start feeling better, and then I return home. Okay? Find a diet that works for you. I do not, for instance, eat a lot of bread or anything with yeast in it, and I do not eat red meat. Find a good therapist. It took me years, and I think I spoke to you about this because not only did I not know I had ADHD, but I was also very depressed. But never mind. Thank God I did find a good therapist. No, he did not cure my ADD, but he taught me how to deal with it and how to make it work for me. For instance, I work on a reward system. Let's say I'm working on something and I reach that point where I just can't anymore because I'm so bored with it all. All I want to do is sleep or get up and do something else. Well, then I do get up, stretch or walk up and down for a minute, but then I implement a reward system. So, like in the old days, I was making a toy. Well, then I'll tell myself that I could go outside and have a smoke as soon as, say, both arms are stitched to the body. Or I would tell myself I can have a chocolate outside on the veranda once I have finished the toy, or I can go lie down and read for 30 minutes, whatever I wanted on that particular day. The reward system still works for me and is how I prevent myself from not completing tasks and not allowing my ADHD to stop me from successfully completing a task. Anyway, Dr. Gabor seemed to believe that he has a cure. I know nothing about Dr. Gabor Mate, but I think I should look into him a bit. Never mind, Dr. Gabor tells Harry he also suffers from PTSD, but again fails to tell Harry to stop abusing substances and alcohol. Oh, and according to Dr. Gabor Mate, he also suffers from anxiety and depression. Again, the first thing a truly qualified professional would do is to tell hapless Harry to stay away from the booze and drugs. Well, no, if you were waiting for that piece of advice to come, you would still be waiting. As a matter of fact, and I kid you not, Harry actually talks about cocaine and marijuana and psychedelics, and right there on camera admits that cocaine does nothing for him, but marijuana and psychedelics helps him a lot to become more clear. Okay? So there he is on television being filmed promoting drug taking, and nobody, not even the doctor, Dr. Gabor Mate, is saying anything. So I guess my next question would be, so how clear does Harry need to be before the police raid their mansion or CPS remove the children? Come on, CPS, how about a warrant and a random drug test on the both of them? Or is it okay for us to just sit back and wait for that accident, that overdose, or that family murder, or whatever to happen? We can actually see it coming. Harry seems stoned more and more. Look at a close up of his face as he gets out of the vehicle during the visit to that private club. His pupils are enlarged, his eyelids are drooping, and he is clearly as high as a kite. Look at his eyes during the Gabor Mate interview. Again, the dilated pupils, the strange body language, and weird facial expressions. Sometimes he has this look almost like he knows something that we don't. I don't know, difficult to explain. It is ridiculous that this is allowed to just happen out in the open and no one is saying boo or bah. If you or I should even come onto YouTube and say anything which is deemed as promoting drug use, we will be kicked off the forum completely. But Harry Markle can sit here and preach to the world how beneficial marijuana and psychedelics are, and nobody bats an eyelid. You can look through the newspaper reports. They report on it, but nobody is actually saying anything about it, saying it shouldn't be allowed, it's illegal. He should be drug tested when he's near minors. He should be drug tested when he's driving. I mean, if he's high and he's driving his own vehicle, he is actually a danger to other people. So why, once he's now advertised himself as being a druggie, why doesn't he get pulled off the road and drug tested? Anyway, of course, the good doctor gives Harry exactly what he wants and says his mother's death is the main factor in his PTSD. Okay, It is just strange how so many other people who lose a parent or sometimes both parents do not go on to become drug addicts and use it as an excuse for every mistake they make until they themselves lay down their heads. Doesn't Harry realize that he is older now than his mother was when she died? Doesn't he realize that he has only known his mother for 12 years and 11 months, and that he had by now lived 26 years without her? Honestly, although it is possible to bear the scars of your childhood into adulthood, most of us turn into functional human beings who occasionally use past experiences to learn from. I firmly believe all this so called trauma from Harry, all this PTSD and seeing his mummy everywhere and seeing things as a sign from her is nothing more than an act on the one side and drug induced delusions on the other side. I understand that Megan is likely fueling all this crap for her own benefit, but to be honest with you, any normal, healthy woman would get sick and bored of this man whining, crying, and being obsessed with his mummy. So seriously, Harry better cut this out or he'll die a lonely old man, because if Megan should leave him, no one else would want him either. He is a pathetic waste of space at the moment. Wake up, Harry. The gutter is only inches away from you. My dear friends, I mean that. I have seen this happening to friends, to family, and to colleagues in the past. And Harry better catch a wake up, because the end for him, one way or the other, is much closer than he thinks. Okay, my dear friends, I can't promise you whether I'll see you tomorrow, but if I don't, then I'll see you on Wednesday. So until then, please take good care of yourself. Bye.